Welcome to Cambodia Business Week on this glorious Saturday morning. We are going to have a couple of guests this morning, but we first are going to start with something you might have seen in a lot of stores, offering a lot of discounts.
Yes, that's
right.
true.
Offering a lot of, I see 20% off here, 20% off if you have PayPay.
Correct.
Which is pretty much a new product on the market, and I'm going to let Thomas Thomas, excuse me, we know each other a long time.
Yes.
How do you say your name properly?
No, almost nobody can say that actually, unless we deal with the show every day. It's Pokorny.
Pokorny.
It's Czech name because
it's
my
not
descent is Czech, former Czechoslovakia before 1991.
Right. You were part of the Czech part of it, right? Or
Bratislava? I was part of the Czech.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Cambodia Business Week. We're really happy to have you. It's something that's really new on the market that a lot of people are talking about. I think when you go to pay in certain merchants, coffee or restaurants, they're asking you to download this app called PayPay. So today we want to learn what PayPay is all about. But let me ask you first, before we learn a little bit about you, how would you describe what PayPay is?
Well, PayPay is consolidation between payment solution, payment mobile application, and lifestyle solutions, lifestyle application. If people, I think often in Cambodia they already know WeChat, WhatsApp, everybody's using those solutions, right? Probably even Alipay. They don't have it yet here, but everybody heard about them. So we're trying to combine all those into one application and essentially really become ultimately WeChat or Alipay of Cambodia, which means combining mobile wallet, mobile payments, where you have everything from bill payments, phone top-ups, and merchant payments, where then you can avail those famous discounts you talked about, but also using communication channels, so chat and advertising.
I think what's up, I think, for the normal user, right, it's not really a payment system, is it?
No.
Or if it is, I'm not aware of it. I'm just using it for chat.
Not in Cambodia for sure, and not even WhatsApp. More WeChat. WeChat in here we use it for just communication, but in China WeChat is a very tangible part, which is wallet, and that's essentially a very similar service what we do here.
So there's a wallet.
There's a mobile wallet where you top up your
PayPay is not really for communication, though, right? Isn't it for really for transaction activity?
It is.
So I mean, if you and I both have PayPay, can we talk to each other just to chat?
Yes, we can. So how it works is upon download, you get access to all communication channels and essentially what we call the lifestyle element of the application. You can see all the merchants, you can see their advertising, you can use the map with their locations and offers they have. That means promotions they offer. You can also using at some point very soon voice calls, video calls, same like it is on those proper chat applications.
Okay, so we're gonna get and talk about this. Sounds a lot more than I thought. Anyway, I thought it was just for paying for.
And it's a good entry point. You know, we kind of hope that initially we have two groups of people. Somebody who just wants to try us out, but yet doesn't trust. Who are we? What license we have? Is it secure enough to trust us with their money? So we let them use the application with no further registrations, with no further compliance or due diligence until the point they trust us. Then they can just fill in extra details such as birthday and ID number, ID picture, and then they are allowed to use payments.
Okay, so we're going to get deeper into this first, but we need to know a little bit about you. Because you've been around Cambodia for a while, so...
It's been 6 years, actually. Hold on, I've been actually saying it's been 6 years for past probably a few years already. So maybe it's over 6 years now.
Well, we know each other for probably about 5 years, and you've certainly been in Cambodia and been around a bit. But before we learn about your activities in Cambodia, first let's talk about where you're from.
So I'm born in former Czechoslovakia.
Which city? I mean, I know Czech Republic quite well. So.
All right, okay. It's eastern city called Ostrava.
That one I don't know.
No, so it's probably the most eastern tip, or northeast tip of Czech Republic, bordering with Poland.
Poland, okay. All right. So you grew up there, then that...
I studied in my high school and partially even university. I have aviation engineering bachelor degree.
So you must have just been, I'm going to guess you were just born after the Velvet Revolution.
Before.
You were born before. So you were a little boy.
I was a little boy when it happened. Yes.
All right, all right. That was great. It was an opportune time.
True.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was a opportune time, and it is still. It's countries in the former Eastern Bloc, as we were called. They're still evolving. So I would say it's almost like small Cambodia of Eastern Europe. But of course, you cannot compare it. There are still different cultures and different development levels.
All right. So you went to you had your education in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, I started with my high school in machinery, mechanical engineering, essentially, but high school level. In Europe, we have different system than American system, or probably even than Cambodian system. So first you do elementary, then high school. Then I did my bachelor's in aviation engineering, parted with flying school. So I had my license for Airbus A320.
You could fly.
I was flying in Kuwait, so it was my. I did my tour of almost 4 years in Middle East in Kuwait, where I was flying Airbus A320. I started as cabin crew to just get a job, then ended up as first officer. But meantime, I was doing my backup. You never know with flying; it's like sport. Your health goes down, and what do you have after that? So I did my master's degree in finance on distance learning. And just after it happened, actually my eyes got worse, significantly worse. So I had to stop flying. So I was fortunate enough to actually balance it and time it well by coincidence.
That's a very big part of flying, actually, is your eyesight. People
yes,
everybody thinks about technology and automation, and the planes basically fly themselves, but it's still
they almost do actually. But yeah, you gotta be still in top notch health to keep professional flying, to get paid for it. You can still fly even now. I can still fly as a private pilot, but I couldn't get salary from a company who would want to employ me for that.
That's kind of, not to say, it's kind of depressing. You went through all this education and learning, and you can.
But then always it's good. Actually I'm grateful for finance. I mean for the entire finance industry, because that education opens a lot of opportunities.
Right. Well, at least it certainly keeps you alert and aware, and very concerned about risk and things like that. That is,
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so that I'm still keeping some parts of that. Yeah.
Right. So we I think we jumped on your career quite a bit. So where you've been in the world? Where have you worked?
So aside of Czech Republic and Russia, because we had quite frequent travels there. My longest stage was in Kuwait. Essentially Middle East, so we were flying around, of course. So I got pretty much. There's this tricky question. If you ask where I've been in as of country count, it's been a lot. But where I've worked, where I was stationed, so it was Kuwait, then Thailand and United States. So I was going back and forth. Philippines a bit, and then Cambodia. I did a few tours in US from Cambodia initially when I started, and then from 2011, I think I haven't left. I've been for 3 short business trips, but I haven't left Cambodia for more than 1 week actually.
Okay. So what's brought you to Cambodia?
It's an interesting part, but it's mainly probably the ease of doing business here. I was on the period of my life that I needed to decide what to do. I wasn't flying anymore. I was having my fresh master's degree in finance. I was doing few jobs in the US, Thailand, around, essentially connecting bridge between the United States small firms who wanted to work in Southeast Asia. I really grown onto the culture, but then try Thailand. It's a very hard visa situation. It's not easy unless you know language to get a job. Then you can do simple research on Google and you find out that Cambodia is probably one of the few, if not only country, which you can just come, get your business visa, find a job, get your working visa, and stay in. So that ease of entry and of owning a business 100% of yourself, that's probably what was the biggest enticement for me.
Okay, well, we're happy to have you here, making some dramatic changes in the market, so that's great. You worked a little bit at WorldBridge, if I remember.
Yes.
E-commerce as well, right?
Yeah, we had MyMall and then WorldBridge outsourcing, but essentially call center agency.
Right.
It's been an interesting time. It's sad that it had to end, but I think that we all, not only me, but also WorldBridge, we both learned from that experience of that online shopping. It's that part, I think, it's still even more behind than payments when it comes to online shopping. So it's been a big learning experience for all of us.
Okay, so then PiPay. So how did the idea and the idea of forming PiPay, starting PiPay, and I know you're not doing this alone because you have some partners here, right?
Yes.
So how did this idea occur that you wanted to do PiPay?
Well, putting Wallbridge aside, I've been always in payments, right? Since I switched my aviation career into finance, and essentially, Wallbridge idea a long time ago was that we should orient Myanmar from online shopping, transfer it into payments. But we had never pursued that idea aggressively enough. Before Wallbridge, I had a very short stay. I told you about United States, Thailand, and Philippines, and here it was for a company that does mobile payments in Florida.
Right.
And they were trying to get into Hong Kong, then they were trying to get into Cambodia. Unfortunately, it stopped. Or maybe fortunately for me, because now I'm here where I am. But so I'm always drawn towards that industry. Then I got introduced to one of our board directors. Back then it was just idea also on his side, Kaiwot.
Right.
I think he's also quite known figure.
Cell card and
markets,
various things.
Right? Cell card, yes. So we approached two investors. One Singaporean gentleman and one Cambodian gentleman, now married to some man. Before he was in Oakland, I think. And they bought into idea. We worked 6 months of just doing business plans, no contracts, nothing. It was just a group of friends who had same vision. And in the end, our investors and now shareholders and board members essentially said, okay, let's do it. So by December 2015, I think it was 17th of December, we officially incorporated.
Wow, you guys are working at this a long time.
A long time, yeah. The preparation stage was a long time. We decided before we actually went public. It was a hard decision because you work on something and you cannot share it. But we decided simply we won't do the same what everybody else is doing, or majority of the market doing. You start a company, you cut the ribbon, you do a big boom around it, and then there is 2 years nothing. We waited until we have proper business planning done, until we have our license from National Bank of Cambodia, which we got in November.
What type of license?
2016.
Type of license did you get?
Third-party processor license.
Okay.
TPT
license.
TPP. Yeah, that's changing now into completely new license, much bigger license. So we are happy about it. But the TPP allows us to do what we do now, essentially. So until November 2016, we couldn't do anything because we didn't have the license. But everything was ready. Then they started doing our sales activities, and from that point onward, we were preparing for beta launch, which happened last month.
Do you have any competition in this space at the moment?
See, logically, I should say yes, but even from the strategy perspective, we always say we don't try to compete because we try to build PipePay as a connective bridge. Before we go to license, you need to get a sponsoring bank, right? And we were going around, and pretty much everybody looked at us. You are just one of the other competitors to financial industry, to banks. But finally now I think people start seeing we are not competing. Even not with Wing, even not with True Money, with nobody of them. We are essentially open platform. We going and knocking doors and saying, let's integrate, let's participate together. Our competitor always we say is that $8 billion in cash that's running around to Cambodia. Not in the system, not in banking system, not taxed. Essentially that funds that's there, just running around. So that's only competitor.
And people think about wings, Wing or Wings, I forget. Wing, quite a bit. So Wing started way back,
yes,
and was a great way to send money back and forth and to make payments as well. So Wings is effectively a payment system, right?
When it comes to bills and everything else, yes.
But not restaurants or cafes.
They're trying to get there now.
Now that you've gone there.
But it's a logical step, people cannot stay just with remittance forever.
But I think they've been around a while. They've been around since 2008,
2007 or 2008, right? The first idea, then different acquisition, different mergers until now. They've done incredible job.
Yeah, sure. We had at the time anyway. We had Anthony Perkins on, and Anthony's moved on to other things now. Yes, Smart, yes, I believe. But so Wing is a payment system which people think about typically for sending money to the province. That's how it all started, right? And now, of course, you could pay bills. When you say pay bills, I guess you could do electric bills and make payments to banks and
top-ups and different things.
Right. Yes. Yeah. But how does Wing fit into what you're doing? How do you compete with Wing?
See, you're trying to steer me on that competing part, how we are seen that we compete.
But is there different factors? Are you guys doing different things than they are, or is it sort of similar?
No, and you are right. Even they think that we compete with them. So how they see us competing, how at least we think that they see us competing, is that we coming to the market with e-wallet solution, right? And pretty much everybody's trying to be quite possessive of the payment industry, right? Everybody thinks that there can be just one player who does payments and everybody needs to go through him. But when you look at dominant markets and developed markets, there's always multiple payment providers because each of them focuses on something else, right? So if you think on core business offering of Wink, which is remittances mainly, right? Or until recently it was remittances, we don't compete at all because we don't do remittances.
So you don't do you have somebody living in Phnom Penh, they want to send their mother payments to Mondulkiri. You're not doing that.
We will be able to utilize that service, but only cashless. So you cannot come to the agent, put $100 on the table and say send it to place A. Which
is what they do. I mean, that was their core business, yes. Right?
So with us, you need to deposit money to the account, and then you can send money to anybody who has PayPay account. But you cannot send it outside of the system. If people in provinces want to access that, they can access it through our financial partners, such other microfinance institutions and banks, not agents. We actually completely we won't do agent business model. We have just merchants and our financial partners, which are banks and FIs.
Financial partners are probably agents. But
Okay.
All right. Well, so let's get off this compete topic again, because I'm sure a lot of people, we're talking a lot, but a lot of people are still saying, well, what is this? I mean, we talked about, we use different terms, but let's take it on the basics, because the way I looked at it, I think I went into a cafe once and they said, and you've done very well encouraging the merchants to download. They said, and they basically said, if you want to buy this cup of coffee, we'll give you 20% off if you download this. And that's pretty interesting.
We are very happy for the support they give.
Right. So you must have trained these merchants quite well, because they're definitely pushing the product. And that's your best advertising, I would say.
We believe in the partnership elements.
All right. So let's take it from there, because not that I didn't want to download it, I will download it now that I see all these discounts, because I'm very turned on to discounts. But let's say if I would have downloaded, what happens? So you go in and you go to a merchant, they say, download my app. So you just go on the internet, you download the app, right?
Yes.
So you have, they'll ask you for certain information.
So essentially, once you download it, you just fill in your name, your surname, and your phone number. You get your one-time password sent to your phone number. You fill it in, and you unlock the lifestyle element of that application. This means you can do everything but payments. So then now you imagine you are in the shop, download the application, you can use it, but you cannot pay, right? So in order to pay, you need to activate a payment feature. Why are we doing it? Because essentially your account with us is similar to account with bank. We need to check if you are a real person, if you are not.
Right, so this is like the KYC and all that stuff,
exactly,
right?
Know your customer, due diligence, essentially standard process.
Right.
But still much less rigorous and diligent than banks. So what we ask you extra is birthday, your ID number, gender, male, female, and we ask you to take photo of your ID, to upload it into the system. Once you've done that, you can use up to $100 in your wallet in USD or 400,000 real in your Cambodian.
But before you can use it, you have to deposit it, right?
Very, very good point. And where can you deposit? So often in those merchants, we have our own small branch. We call them hubs. It's a table. We have 2 shifts, 7 days a week. Our staff, PayPay staff, can facilitate cash in, cash out, and also they can do physical KYC if you want to reach higher limit of the transactions.
Right. So if I'm in a certain, where would you have like a desk? What type of merchant?
Imagine Tuleju Sihanouk, Tuleju Monivong, one of the two key locations. Come there, download it, you can deposit directly there.
So if I downloaded it at Tulejur, I could simply then go to their desk and say, here's $100, right?
And you can deposit.
And then I can use that $100 to
spend it through the PayPay at the merchant, utilize availing the discount.
All right. And that, is the encouragement also the discounts?
When you actually, because you said it, you heard about us, right? But have you seen TV or billboards? No, right? So far.
Not really.
But
I don't have a TV. I watch YouTube.
Good point. But even so, that's the main differential. Blah blah. You know what I want to say. Is the main differentiation point for us. We don't do TVs. We plan to maybe do one day TVC once we officially launch, but very small. In fact, we don't do billboards. We're trying to stay as much away as from offline advertising as we can. We're trying to really stay true to who we should be, which is digital technology company, fintech, right? That's what we like to use. And as such, we use the discounts as an acquisition for our users and also support to our merchants, because we believe that providing discount is probably a much better method of give user a chance to use us than if he sees us on TV, right? Because just seeing something doesn't mean that you can use it and you'll enjoy it. So we are ready to bite the bullet on this sunken cost of giving discounts together with our merchants, and that's our main source of marketing in this stage.
So right now, the discounts are
one of the main driving forces.
The incentive and the seduction of
yes, but knocking on the wood, on the glass, it's been surprising. We have a lot of comments since we started even our Facebook campaign, and a lot of people says, "I love your discounts, but I like your application not because of that. I like your application because it's easy and it's convenient." And when you use it and compare it to WeChat and WhatsApp, sure, we are still in beta stage. There's still tons of improvements we will be doing. But compared to pretty much anything else, what you've seen in Cambodia, it is convenient. It is faster. Right. It is easier to use.
So let's put it in compartments, right? So you deposit the money. You could then go to a merchant. And how big is the merchant network?
Well, at this stage, we have already close to, I think, 180 locations.
So if I go to Aeon Mall, am I going to be able?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully in a few months. Aeon Mall is very.
But if I go to Tulajore, I mean, what are the big ones? Tulajore, Digby,
Domino's, Pizza Company, Digby is there as well. Master Suki, Legend Cinema, they do amazing 50% discounts.
50%?
50% on movies. Yeah, so
that's pretty good.
To clarify on that point, we actually sign up close to 1,400 merchants already. But thing is that we focusing on quality rather than quantity, and we don't want to put all of them together, and then we don't have enough users for them. So it's a growing process. So we signing them up sequentially. As more users we have, more merchants we bring on board, so we can grow it step by step.
All right. So
and we can handle it through internal, customer service that we know that we are always there. We are 24/7 there. So.
All right. So I download the app. I put the money on. I'm in. Let's take. Who's one of your best, largest partners?
Oh, let's do Legend Cinema.
Legend Cinema. All right. So I'm in City Mall.
Sure.
I say okay. It's a $5 ticket. I show. I want to pay by PayPay. Mm-hmm. I pay $250. Right.
Yes.
And then how does it logistically work with the merchant?
So
for the techie people in the audience.
For the techie one. Essentially, we provide to merchants with our POS, certified POS.
So they have it's a point of sale
point of sale device.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a point of sale device.
Yes.
Just like a credit card or a debit card.
Exactly. But on top of the standard card processing that your normal point of sale devices do, it's Android device as well as card processing device. So QR code is generated with the amount on that
is it
Android
scan
device,
or?
And you scan it just using your phone. That's the thing. A merchant doesn't need any special technology. We give them everything.
So on the POS, you scan on the POS system itself, right?
Yes.
And the POS system reads the
POS system. Actually, not even you. Your phone reads the QR code, gives you information. You confirm your PIN. That's being sent into our core system.
The other way around.
Banking process. Right. We do other way.
So there's some input into the POS system to say blah blah blah.
Merchant is in control. He's happy because they control the amount. Right. They know what they do, and you are in control because you are the one who types final PIN.
Okay.
Not only this one, we have a few other payment methods. So wallet and PIN, just typing your phone number and PIN code, and we coming with 2 big surprises and August as well. So more innovation.
I think it's going to get certainly it'll be less dependent on the POS in the future.
More and more.
Right, yes. And there'll be some other devices, and I think maybe whether it's an iPad or something, we'll see. I won't let you drop the beans on that yet. All right. So that's merchants. That's one compartment. Making payments to merchants. Let's talk about other compartments. What are the product you said you and I are both on PayPay? I could chat with you.
Oh, you can chat with me, and you can use the same chat to actually send me the money. So we both are here. You send me $10. I'm in Digby. I need to pay for my coffee. I just send you money. You get it there. You get notification inside of the chat, and
this is only in Cambodia, right?
For now, it's just in Cambodia.
All right. So it's a chat device for Cambodia.
As well, yes.
A Khmer language yet, or?
We are both in Khmer and English.
Okay.
And we will be adding Chinese very soon.
Fantastic. All right, so that's another compartment is on same system can do chat.
Yes. Yes.
Messages, obviously.
Absolutely.
And you said voice calls soon as well?
Voice calls and video calls very soon as well.
Very soon? Okay. So you effectively have a micro competition with all the other devices.
The chat engines.
Right.
But the thing is that they are all international firms, right?
Right.
What we're trying to prove essentially is that we can combine those solutions. And we have international technology. Don't get me wrong. We haven't developed everything from scratch. But on the other hand, it's idea from here. It's developed. It's put together here, right? So essentially, our main mission is to say that Cambodian company, the majority, except 3 foreigners, we are all Cambodians in front, over 130 employees. So we want to always put that mission ahead. That Cambodian company is able to do same quality application on technology level as it can be done in Thailand, as it can be done in Vietnam. Because then people look at Cambodia a little bit, technology-wise, you are way behind. I don't think so. It's true. It's just about utilizing and finding right people. So we always say it's international background, international system, but born in Cambodia. That's our main.
So we did the chat and messaging component. What else?
Chat and messaging and payments. That's very much evolving around the part. Of course, then you go into details. You could talk about. Do you have Line?
I don't use it. I mean, I got WhatsApp, I got Skype, I got Telegram.
Many of it also. So online.
Messenger. So how many things want to annoy me?
PayPay is one extra. No, but online you have something what they call official accounts. Essentially, each merchant has their own page, and through that page they can communicate to the users, and users.
They can advertise.
They can advertise. We have it.
Is that good or bad?
I think it's good because then I think we're finding out on our users that they like to engage with the merchants. They like to see what merchant does, and where they can avail best promotions. So it's essentially it's almost like shopping engine, not online shopping engine, but shopping information engine on payment.
Well, it is almost an online shopping engine if you think about it. I mean, it's just the technology is a little. We're not there yet. I mean, because you're still using POS, and when that changes, but I'm sure it's going to shift. That it could be online.
There are a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I mean the POS is a pretty legacy technology, but that will nobody wants to continue that. All right, so that's now. I guess the question is people would ask is it secure? So I'm putting $100 in the Tout le Jour counter and say, okay, here's $100. How do I know that $100 goes safely into somewhere where I could use it?
It's a very good question, and I'll answer it in two ways. The first part will be legal and compliance here, and the second part will be technology itself. So since we are TPP, a third-party processor, we are obliged and governed by National Bank of Cambodia to keep all funds we have, all clients' money essentially, and merchants' money, inside of what they call trust account. Trust account is governed by our sponsoring bank, which is CIMB.
Right.
They are fairly reputable, big company around Southeast Asia. I think that there shouldn't be so much concerns or where your money goes. It's not PayPay keeping it in under the sofa under the bed sheet.
They're in a sort of a trust account.
So it's locked in the trust account. Right. Only access to those funds is when you spend them, that goes to the merchant account, or when you withdraw them back, then goes back to you. But we cannot use it even for investment purposes or anything else. It's locked there. And on technology side, that's even secondary story and even something what makes me, I'm techie, right? That part makes me excited. We have technology done by a company called Wirecard. It's a company listed in Frankfurt, one of the largest payment processors in the world, and one of the largest technology payment providers in the world. PayPal and Alipay actually using Wirecard for certain engines they do. Wirecard brought Alipay to Germany. Now to Greece as well. So it's fairly big company. So the entire core system of that is done by them. So everything, the money movement, everything what's happening with your money, even virtually, is essentially protected by Wirecard. And Wirecard has all certifications. So all ISO standards, PCI DSS level 1 certifications. Our POS itself is EMV level 1, level 2. For techies and bankers, they will know what we're talking about. It's essentially one of the highest. It's same certification and security Visa card or MasterCard would need to work with somebody.
Okay, that's when did this all start? When you had your first user, when did you start?
First company user, it was one of our shareholders. It happened May 2nd.
Of this year?
Of this year, yeah.
So we got May, June, and I know because I work on some transactions on the corporate finance side on online shopping.
Okay.
You guys measure a lot of things, but certainly one of the most important metrics is the growth of users.
Yes.
So I'll ask you that.
Which
is only 3 months, so I'm not expecting 1 million, but I mean...
No, but so beta launch for when application was downloadable for everybody else was June 26th.
Okay, so you're effectively less than a month.
Less than a month.
And so how's the traction?
I will not tell you exact number, okay, of the total downloads.
Better than you thought or worse than you thought?
I think it's better than anybody could expect in Cambodian market. But percentage-wise growth, okay? Then let me do quick math.
No, it's really too early. I mean, it's just 1 month. That's a hard. No, I got to ask you that question next year.
But daily growth. Daily growth is pretty much same day growth. It's being bigger than previous day, and it hasn't stopped. Every day that growth is bigger and bigger and bigger. So
the branding's good.
We essentially double.
The branding's good. I mean, you guys are doing pretty good branding. I mean, it's out there and people know about it. I mean, if you ask me about some of the payment systems, I mean, you've explained it quite well. There's so many of them out there. I don't know really how all this stuff works. I still do internet banking, so if I had to transfer money to somebody, but I mean, doing micropayments, which I think these are.
You could classify it micropayments. You won't be buying car using our wallet,
right?
Likely, so.
But I would. I mean, I'm used to, I guess, using credit cards or going to the ATM next to the restaurant or something. But the ease of being able to pay through a wallet on a phone is pretty interesting to me. I guess one of the questions would be for some of when you're going up on the middle class level, because a lot of this started as pure micropayments, right?
Yes.
So is the wallet at 100? If I go and I spend $30 one day, $30 the next, I got to go back again and fill it up. So
we have the second level of wallet, which we call Platinum user for some reason. First one is silver, that's up to $100 or 400,000 real. We have two wallets. We have Cambodia wallet and USD wallet. Once you come physically to see one of our hubs, one of our branches, right, together with those merchants, the small table I told you about, you can ask to be upgraded to Platinum. All you need to do is you need to show that ID you took a photo of.
Right.
So that's essentially face-to-face verification. So then we complete that full compliance, full due diligence, and that will allow you $5,000 and 20 million real.
Okay. 5,000. That's
already it's from microfinance.
We're not getting interest though, right?
As TPP, we cannot no interest, nothing. Yes.
All right. So let me ask just the final two questions. I guess one of them is, if somebody asked you, why should I actually use PiPay as opposed to using something else? Mm-hmm. What would you tell them?
For now, I would point at them. It's beta, so discount is the main factor, driving factor. But once we complete the entire circle of merchants and everybody who we have, we think that in Cambodia we will be only one who you could wake up with.
Are you going to try? You're going to tie delivery into this, because there's another app out there with delivery, right?
No, but exactly that's where we're heading at. From the moment you wake up until you go sleep, which means including bars, including home deliveries, including online shopping, you wouldn't have to leave one application. Communication, talking to your friends, spending money, sharing with them money, sharing the bills at the restaurants with your friends, sending surprise red pocket gifts. There's tons of things that we adding into the system. And I think that level of convenience and to find everything all in one place, it's probably one thing that can set us apart, and then user can enjoy the most.
And the future plans? If for those of us that have downloaded PiPay and say, okay, it's great, what's next for PiPay? I mean, what can you talk about as far as future?
So expansion of services, innovation. Right. So we're really pushing for fintech. We're getting new license that's coming from National Bank of Cambodia that will even allow us to do more services. So it won't be only payments. It will be online payments, deliveries, and a few other innovative solutions. You've seen a lot of stories in the United States, Silicon Valley stuff. People think it's only possible there, but I can guarantee you that within this year, you'll see something from us on very, very innovative level. And aside of that, for now, we are just in Phnom Penh, mainly in Phnom Penh.
Right.
So what's next for users is essentially a nationwide coverage, pretty much by end of this year.
And you're going to cross some borders?
with new license. Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations and great job. I mean, I
appreciate it.
When I heard you talk about the planning stage since 2015, we're now 2 years later. It takes a lot of takes a lot of stamina before you had your first user, and and that's fantastic. So we wish you the best of luck and keep continuing doing great things in Cambodia.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.